David Malpass is with us. Now, David is one of Trump's economic advisors, helped write the economic plan that we saw yesterday. I want your response to what you just saw there from Hillary Clinton, who's put the birther issue and racism, implied racism, back at the front of her front burner. You respond.
Hi, Stuart. Good morning. It's ridiculous. It's a diversion from the real issue. They're getting bad growth numbers that keep coming out. Yesterday, we saw industrial production. We saw retail sales. This morning already, University of Michigan shows a weak consumer confidence. And so Clinton is really desperately trying to get the focus onto this negative side of the debate. Obama issued his birth certificate years ago. The issue is closed, and there's no reason to be raising it. What they should be talking about is issues, and they won't.
By the way, Mr. Trump is going to give a statement on his position on the birther issue, if you like.
Let's talk about
That's growth coming up in a second. Yeah. We should talk about growth. But Ed Rollins is with us, Trump guy. You're raising money for Trump, I know that. Now, this attack line by Hillary Clinton, I believe it's designed to shore up her base.
Sure.
She's speaking to black women voters at the moment. Will it work?
No. You have to remember here. You have to remember 1 week ago today was when she basically said that 50% of Trump's supporters, which Trump has about 50 million people according to polls today supporting him, meaning 25 million people are racist, basically homophobic, all the rest of it, and are deplorable citizens of the United States. So, you know, she's throwing pretty heavy bricks. She's sliding back. She's had a miserable couple months, the campaign, or certainly a couple weeks. The campaign has now shifted from not being about him to about her and her deficiencies. And so she's desperate. This is a woman who for 2 years thought she was the inevitable president, and now she's struggling.
Liz MacDonald has been digging into this birther issue a little, because the allegation is that way back, I think it was 2008, the Clinton campaign then, when running up against Barack Obama, they raised the issue, the birther issue back then. Did they not?
It wasn't the Clinton campaign. They never raised the birth certificate issue. It was an advisor by the name of Mark Penn back in March of 2007 wrote a memo, again, a Clinton advisor, saying you should question his lack of American roots. It could hold him back with voters. His boyhood in Indonesia and Hawaii could at best give a limited sense of his, show his limited American values. The other thing, too, is Philip Berg, a deputy attorney general of Pennsylvania, in 2008 did file the very first lawsuit questioning Obama's eligibility, questioning where he was born. He was a Clinton supporter back in 2008.
Because they put it on the table to some degree.
Clinton supporters, not the campaign.
I think we should be talking about...
Very important. Yep. Mark Penn was her principal strategist. He made more money out of her campaign. He ran that campaign. He was the key player. So it's not just like some casual volunteer sitting in the out. He was the player who scripted her, ran her campaign from start to finish.
Got it. I think we should really be talking about economic growth.
Yes.
If you want the key to this election and the key to America's future, in my opinion, grow the economy. Let's get some prosperity out there. David Malpass with us, as you saw just momentarily. Now, you helped write the plan. You were sitting right behind Donald Trump when he announced it yesterday. We could see you on camera all the way through. Now, summarize it. He wants massive tax cuts, and he thinks he'll get 3.5%, 4% growth. That's his position. That's right, and I think we can go above 4% in the early stages of it. Remember, Reagan's tax cut generated 8% growth in the early phases of it, and the reason for that is because the corporate tax rate right now is 35%. The U.S. simply can't compete in a world where everybody else has lower corporate tax rates, so that would be lowered to 15%. That causes businesses to begin investing, and they invest heavily, hire workers, and that gets the economy going. It's been a terribly weak economy. But there's been an immediate attack on that plan, that it will simply grow the deficit, that we'll be needing to borrow, what, $4 trillion or something. What do you say to that? Sure. There's a whole group of people, a lot of them in Washington, who think that all the money in the country is Washington's money. So as any kind of tax cut, they think is taking money away from Washington. Well, the reality is it stays in the economy and builds new jobs. That's the whole point. And so Trump has a very optimistic vision. If you're going to radically increase military spending, and Donald Trump is, and you're not going to touch entitlement, Social Security and Medicare, I don't know how you're going to balance the budget.
Right, but remember, there's growth that comes out of the tax cut, and then we also have the penny plan that Trump mentioned yesterday, and also don't forget there's regulatory reform, massive trade reform, and those all create growth too. So count those in as part of the growth, and it adds up. It's deficit neutral.